All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 10 of the Bangers, Bops, and Banter podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Joe. I'm with my co-host, Brendan.
I'm the co-host, Brendan.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
Yep.
jeez. We got a couple guests today. First up, we got Mitchell.
Hi, what's up? I'm Mitchell.
Whoa.
Wow.
Holy
thank you,
shit.
Mitchell.
And we also got Wesley. He was in our first episode. We were like, maybe he'll be a host.
I'm glad to be back. Maybe one day when I have enough time to watch movies and listen to music and not suffer. But we'll have to see.
Got a lot on your plate, I see.
Yes, mostly suffering.
One day we'll have enough time to actually post on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I've been running the Bop Stop Twitter account for about a year now. Technically, maybe how long? How fucking long has it been?
It's been like a year and a couple months because we tried to start this last summer. So
Yeah, and let me tell you, I've been posting ever since. Well, intermittently, of course, but most of the posts relate to me being pissed off that we weren't releasing any episodes.
Well, look at us now, Wesley.
Yeah,
Wow,
no, you guys
doing
have
it.
more episodes than I have followers. Fucking
Yeah.
finally.
Destroyed.
You guys have come so far. I'm so proud of you.
Mhm.
Oh, wow, thank you. All right, we got a cool show coming up for everyone. First, we're gonna talk about some music and movie news. Some very interesting stories I found. There's
Joe's
one
very
that I'm
excited.
really excited to talk about. That I'm
I'm
super
really
pumped
interested.
Yeah, Joe just loves news.
for. Afterwards, we're gonna have discussion / review of Frank Sinatra's "In the Wee Small Hours" album, his ninth studio album, I believe.
Sounds right.
And then afterwards, we're going to discuss the film Vanilla Sky, directed by Cameron Crowe.
Which we all definitely watched.
I'm looking at you,
Oh, Wesley.
Wait,
but they'll
which
never
one?
know because they can't see the video.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck. Excuse me. Pardon me.
He knows who it is.
All right. Let's get into the news. Firstly, Logic is releasing a new album.
Yes.
I'm really excited.
I'm
because
so
it's
excited.
Logic.
Oh my god, really? Alright,
But-
hold up.
He has also said that he is retiring after it.
No! No!
Yeah.
Ah, what a comedy of errors! No!
What a
I'm
twist.
fucking livid.
Maybe he's pulling a
I
Conor
love
McGregor.
Logic.
He's saying he's
Deeply.
tired just for the publicity, and then he's going to come back with another wham!
See,
Well, yeah,
that's
of course
what
he
I
is.
think.
I don't know, because
Hmm.
Logic isn't a guy who's
course.
like inconsistent about what he says is the thing. He's
That's
not a
true,
That's
Kanye.
true. That's true.
That's true.
But I mean, honestly, like, let's think about it. Like, his whole life is music, and he's saying he's going to retire. He's probably going to come back in 5 to 10 years. It's not going to be the same,
That's-
but I'm thinking he might come back.
yeah,
That's definitely
I would say.
a possibility.
Yeah.
I think
He
he'll
said-
go on hiatus. Let's say.
Yeah, that's definitely what I think. He'll just take a break.
He said he wanted to
Logic has a son.
basically he has a son, so he wants to, spend a lot of time with him. And I figured he has enough
Like a
money.
good dad.
Just wait till Logic's
Like-
son listens to his dad's music. Like,
Oh my
His
god.
childhood gone, evaporated just in a second.
I can't
Dad,
wait.
this 1-800 song really speaks to me.
I'd be fucking livid.
I
would
made
be
it
like, oh,
just
that's
for you,
cool.
little Timmy. I made it just for you.
What's
Uh,
that one line from Bobby Tarantino too? Where something about crucifying pussy, and I can't wait for his son to hear that and just be like, Dad, I have a question. Can you explain this one to me?
Man.
Mom's gonna be pissed. Oh my god, it's gonna be great.
All right.
I wish the best for Logic. I literally always do. He's such a good boy.
Yeah.
I do. I don't know. I kind of love Logic, even though he's like put out some not so good records recently.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like all of his music is garbage, but it always just makes me smile. Like it's so. Yeah, are you telling me you can't listen to Confessions of like Dangerous Minds and not just like be laughing the entire time? 'Cause that's what I do. I have days where I'm like having a bad time. I throw on that album and I just like laugh my ass off. It's so good. It's so good.
All right. Next, Megan Thee Stallion was shot multiple times by someone. It was she was with Tory Lanez at the time, I believe, and there was some sort of altercation, I guess. Tory Lanez was arrested on a felony gun charge, and there was some sort of altercation. Megan Thee Stallion ended up getting shot. She's fine,
which is good.
She should recover. She's good. So that's the good news. It's just
it's bad news that she got shot in the first place.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Good. She's okay.
Yeah.
So scary. Holy shit.
Next, Maroon 5, who were actually Maroon 7. There's 7 of them. Maroon 5 was bassist.
Come on, they got a ramp.
Biggest lies in U.S. history.
They used to be 5, and then I don't know. Things happen.
They added a cameraman, then they had a photographer. It's a family of 25.
Wait a minute. something doesn't add up here.
But their bassist,
the 2 is silent.
Mickey Madden, who the only person from Maroon 5 I feel like anyone knows is Adam Levine. Yeah. But their bassist, Mickey Madden, is taking a leave of abstinence following an arrest from domestic abuse.
Good for him.
Just to be 100% clear, that is leave of absence, not abstinence.
Yes, leave of absence. I'm sorry if I mumble.
All good. You'd make a great rapper.
Yo. Watch out, Logic. I'm coming for your throne.
You heard it here first. Matt will
he's already stepping down, so you
feel safe, Logic, with all those fucking teeth in your skull still? Joe's coming for you.
Oh, fuck.
Put him in his place, like those teeth.
All right.
Sorry.
So, Joe's the orthodontist in this situation?
Oh, fuck.
He's a dentist. He's like, I'm coming for your big teeth.
Right. I gotta, they gotta be straightened out. I'm gonna give you braces.
I'll triple your fucking bone count, Logic. You better run. You better fucking run. Your kneecap, you like those?
Wait,
you'll wake up one morning, they'll be gone.
Because you break
every bone in your body in 2 places.
Oh, okay. I was like...
That's a hell of a threat. That is a threat if I've ever heard one.
Fill you with teeth.
I was thinking, how many bones am I adding to Logic, and how am I doing this?
He just goes in and makes Logic 13 feet tall. Just adds 14 femur bones to him. Got your leg bone. You want to play basketball now? You can play.
You want to fucking go?
Technology's amazing.
Boy's got more bones than he's got bars.
Oh. Ooh, ripping them.
Oh. Destroyed.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Come on, Logic.
Do it.
All right.
I'm sure Logic would be very upset and cry and make a song about it, Wesley.
That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. Now the story that I'm really excited for, because it sent me down a rabbit hole that I was like, "What the fuck?" So Trapt. Do you remember Trapt? They have that song Headstrong.
It's like dun, 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 yeah, that song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll agree with you.
I'll take you on.
I'm odd.
It's like a new
I think you would recognize it.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
So Trapt released a new album. And it sold 600 copies in the first week. That's it.
Which is
what?
Solid.
Can you say that again?
Trapt released a new album, and it only sold 600 copies in the first week.
Which that's tiny. That's nothing.
Dude, that's that's awesome, man. 600 people have heard his songs. Think about it.
So
that's 600 more than no one.
Yeah. Okay. So, one sec. Let me find it. Just for comparison, there was, let's see, the Five Finger Death Punch's most recent album, which came out at the very end of February, so basically the beginning of March.
Mm-hmm.
That this week sold 1,500 copies
Yeah.
in comparison.
Rough.
And Trapt is like not a small band. For reference, they have 2 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
That's mostly just Headstrong.
It's mostly just this one song called Headstrong, but Headstrong's a good song though.
So this
Brandon's one of those 2 million.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. The Trapt's lead singer, whose name is coincidentally Chris Brown.
That's a fucking name.
His full name is Chris Taylor Brown, but like, it's just really funny.
Yeah, that's rough.
So
don't tell me that he went
out
and like, beat someone to death because he was upset.
The lead singer says it's bullshit, basically.
Okay.
He's like, we sold like 4,000 units, which I just to contend with that. If you go to the album and just to look at songs that aren't the singles, they have like 25,000 plays, and that's it. And it's been like a week and a half since the album released.
Rough.
Slowly but surely, that's all I can say.
Let me see where it is. He also or wait, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna so the lead singer is arguing that it didn't actually get 600 listens or purchases rather. It had like way more than that, like 4,000.
Yes.
And I assume there's evidence against that.
Yes, according to well, basically it's the sales numbers are reported by Billboard, who uses a specific like data company basically.
Right.
But like it's not like really a bias thing. There's some there's been like debate about it because with streaming it's kind of hard to figure out how many listens equates to a sale of an album.
The way Billboard counts sales is kind of antiquated, and they need to update their system. But
well, they've updated already in the past, so it's just it's interesting. That being said, so before the album was to be released, their lead singer said in a tweet, "The new Trapt album, Shadow Work, is the best piece of music Trapt has put out, and probably one of the top 5 albums that will ever exist for all of time."
Joe, can you list off for me? I want you to list off 5 albums that are better than Shadow Work by Trapt right now.
Okay.
Rapid fire. Oh,
rapid fire. All right. So, OK Computer by Radiohead. Kid A by Radiohead. In Rainbows by Radiohead.
Why did I even ask?
Pablo Honey by Radiohead.
There we go.
Fair argument right there. I agree.
I have listened.
I'm sold.
I haven't listened to the whole thing. I've listened to a couple tracks. They're really bad.
Yeah.
It's very.
Like, I've never really listened to this artist. So what kind of music does he do? Trap music, or is his name just Trap?
Oh no, it's a band, and they're called Trapt. It's TRAPT.
Oh, Trapt. Oh, well, they just trapped themselves into a really poor situation.
Oh my god.
So this is.
So what kind of wait? What kind of band are they? I'm sorry.
They're like a new metal, like alt rock, like 2000s alt rock band, basically.
Oh, totally top 5
on
my list already.
Or maybe I wouldn't say alt rock, but like it's like that 2000 new metal stuff, sort of like Disturbed, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, it really does belong in the 2000s.
But no, I don't know if you heard this, but it's actually going to be one of the most top 5 most popular albums.
He's calling it now. Yeah, you know, in like 150 years, still top 5. It'll never drop.
This is the kind of music that we're going to be like sending off in spaceships to contact other like life forms, so they know what humanity is like, and then they're going to blow us up. They're going to be fucking pissed.
You know, I will be okay with that because humans not top 5. They are not top 5.
Man, what are your top 5 human beings, Joe?
Top 5
Radiohead.
human beings. All right. So
Radiohead.
Tom
let me
York.
look up Tom York. Let me just quickly look up the list of Radiohead members because there's 5 of them.
There is.
Uh-oh.
Who's
gonna be the
top 5
bottom?
She's cool.
people. Number 1 is OK Computer by Radiohead.
All right. Okay, but so anyway, this like tweet kind of sent me down a rabbit hole of going through Trapt
for sure.
Twitter. So it turns out they're like super hard Trump supporters.
This is getting wacky.
It's just really weird that Trapt is not who I expect
There
to
has
be
not at
diehard
all.
Trump supporters.
They seem very anti-disestablishmentarianism. Did I use that word correctly? I'm gonna say I did.
don't think
Go
you
for
did.
it.
No,
but-
definitely did not.
But they're not
Definitely
that.
They don't. They're fuck the man energy.
Mm.
And so it also turns out that they've tweeted some not so good things,
Oh,
some kind of racist things.
well, you know.
Did
it
Wesley hear
happens.
that? All right, Wesley. It
Yes,
turns out that the Trapt has tweeted some kind of racist stuff in the past.
I'm already retweeting it on the Twitter account.
Oh my god, no. Please don't, actually. I just find it
No, of course not.
it's I don't know. Most of the racist stuff was kind of just like denying that systemic racism exists, or
That's
saying
just,
like it's been
that's been done before, you know.
yeah, man.
Systemic racism? Yes, it's
Um,
not good.
Oh, I also apologize
stop.
ahead of time if you guys hear sirens or motorcycles because I'm like my apartment is right on the street, so you might hear motorcycles
okay,
or
sorry.
sirens.
No problem, man.
No, it's not coming through. You're good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's also very interesting because Trapt has also stated that they're going to be suing the people who have reported that they only sold 600 albums.
No,
I
they're
would
really-
love that.
they're really,
I would
they're
love
really
that.
living up to
I'm
their
gonna
name.
fucking read it.
Yes. Including
They're just trying to keep down the top 5 album of all time. You know, it needs to be spread to the masses.
I think they messed up the word best with worst.
I think you're right. It's
I think they just have never read a book enough that they've realized that best
Dude.
means worse.
Trapt has 21,000 tweets.
Wow.
Holy crap, that's a
They're
lot of
busy,
tweets.
dude.
I
And
mean, they've
like
probably
so
been on
many of
Twitter
these are
for-
like really problematic. Like stuff I would not want to say on the podcast in the slightest.
yeah.
Like this is so
Um,
uncomfortable.
I want to also say they also said so. This guy, I just linked a tweet in the Discord. It's basically just a guy
Okay.
reporting on it. He's kind of making fun that it only sold 600 copies. Trapt responded by saying, "You're getting sued as well, bud."
Who would go, you're getting sued as
bud.
well, bud? Like,
You're
who would have
next.
the end of that?
Bud. Do you think he thought about that? Do you think he like sitting there with his like hand over the send button and he's just like, is the bud too much? No.
Or should I say buddy, pal,
Friend.
Ow. Mm.
friend, foe?
Renderino.
I feel like Trapt
Friend
definitely
arena.
uses the word bucko.
I bet he sat there for a while with that tweet going, you know what, this guy's he's gonna deserve it.
Yeah.
This will show him.
But yeah, it's just been really funny to see how like I don't know, very whiny they've been about it, I guess.
Dude, you know what? They just took that shovel and they dug the grave as deep as they could, you know? They
Absolutely.
really wanted to hit earth crust.
Yeah.
Like they I when Joe started that like whole thing, I was like, all right, you know, maybe they're like trying to, you know, like put it out there so they can be top 5. But man, did they dug deep.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you on this one. I was really ready for an underdog story with this one.
Yeah.
And I was.
They just really screwed the pooch on that one.
Surprised in the worst way.
I don't know. I totally understand where they're coming from, though. Like, I'd be whiny, too, if the top 5 greatest album of all time was only selling 600 copies in its first week, you know? It's just, it's a travesty.
That's a low blow. Catch a man while he's down like that.
I don't know if he's getting back up. It's okay.
Rough. Oh no.
All right. Well, we got one final piece of news. We're going to movie news now. News about movies has been pretty slow because of coronavirus.
Yeah.
Did you see the Tenet stuff?
Yeah,
we've been talking about Tenet for a couple weeks.
It's been like
delayed.
Really?
Okay.
It's been delayed to August 1st or whatever.
No. They just released that it's not going to have a release date, so they're just going to release it randomly all over the world. Yeah, that's what because they just released today. Sorry, I thought you'd find that interesting.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
I don't know if it's going to stay like that, but yeah, I saw today that they're going to release it randomly at any time all over the world, like no release date specifically.
I assume it's just whenever it's like they feel like an area is like handling the pandemic well.
That's my guess.
That's interesting. That's definitely better than just releasing it in August. I know Chris Nolan has been kind of like really wanting it to be released.
I mean, he makes a movie for 3 years and then some virus comes in like 2 months before it releases. Like, that's gotta stop.
Yeah. I do think
some asshole comes in with Corona. I'm like, come on. It's Christopher Nolan. Let's not ruin his dreams.
Bridge.
Top 5 movies of all time. Tenet.
Well, all right. Let's not get carried away.
Sorry.
That's fine. Anyway, the only story I have found outside of Tenet stuff is the Russo brothers cast Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans in a movie called The Gray Man. It's being made for Netflix, and it's going to be the most expensive Netflix production to date.
Probably just because of how much they're paying both of those stars.
This is probably part of it. But like the entire budget is $200 million.
Whoa,
which is a ton.
That's a big number.
I guess for comparison, pretty sure Bright was 160 million, or it's like in between 160 and 140 or something. Wow. But yeah, so it's definitely seems like it's going to be a really big movie.
What do you know what it's about? I mean, hopefully it's about a gray man, but I don't know what about the gray man.
Anthony Russo described the gray man as a real mano a mano between those two great actors. All right, never mind. This isn't what I thought it was. He says they represent two different versions of the CIA and what it can be and what it can do. He continued, for those who are fans of Captain America Winter Soldier, this is us moving into that territory in more of a real-world setting.
Interesting.
Which is definitely interesting.
Okay.
I think that sort of like I mean Winter Soldier was like it was an action movie, but it was kind of like a almost spy action movie in a way.
No, yeah, it did have that feel. Yeah, it definitely did have
like it's kind of like these elements of like deception and everything going on. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what they come up with if it's sort of coming from that area. It'll also be really interesting to see them work outside of a Marvel environment, because that's pretty much all they've been doing for the past like decade almost. But yeah. So
you know what? I'm really interested to see what Netflix does, because Netflix has seemed to be the only movie people, like the only company or producer or business that's been able to put out movies and actually successfully get views. Because all the movies that's been coming out, like HBO I haven't seen really anything that comes out other than TV shows. Like no one's been doing movies, but TV shows have been coming out. But like Netflix seems to be the only people who have been putting out movies. So I'm really interested to see how the other companies catch up.
Yeah, definitely.
Disney not only tripped, but tripped and fell down a flight of stairs at the Artemis Fowl movie, which I would highly recommend. It's a fan of the books, not a fan of the books. It's a train wreck either way. It's a grand old time with a couple of friends, and I would just highly recommend seeing it. No, it's not good. It's really bad, in fact.
Definitely. I mean, I know Disney Plus hasn't been doing so well, which is interesting.
Well, aren't they pairing up now with HBO Max and Peacock? Because like now they're making some moves. Yeah, like making some moves into Peacock, so it's all streaming platform. So Disney's making.
We're getting some technical difficulties. We'll continue, and hopefully Mitchell is okay.
I hope he's okay. I thought his internet connection was bad. He didn't die, I hope.
Sometimes the two are related. So
You can never quite be sure.
The internet dies and you die at the same time.
You guys hear me?
You're very robot-y.
Oh. Like
Do you think you can learn to love? Do you think Mitchell could pass a Turing test right now?
I think so. It might be the first robot to do so.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you, but like, you'll have to listen to this episode back because this is incredible.
It's just oh, he's coming back a little bit.
He's back? No,
almost,
not even a little bit. What's happening?
Oh no.
Did you like connect to a different signal or some whack shit?
That's crap. Is that
there was so much fear in his voice, and then God took him. I don't like that.
It's still very robot.
That was really close to being words.
Nope. No, it wasn't it.
I shall return.
Yes.
Oh,
Welcome back, sir.
Hey, there we
Banter.
go.
Oh,
Alright.
Beautiful.
Okay, wait, what was the last thing you heard?
Well done.
It was Peacock, HBO, Disney Plus.
So Netflix is, Disney Plus is trying to be the next Netflix and try to overtake Netflix is my thought. I don't know if it's true, but it's a smart business move because Disney Plus is now merging with HBO Max and Peacock, which is free, but now it's probably not going to be, it's probably going to be an extension of Disney Plus that's free, but then it's like, all right, you're going to have to pay for the other stuff, so give us your money.
Really?
So they're now pairing with Peacock and HBO Max.
Huh. That's interesting because they definitely there's like I feel like individually those services aren't that attractive, but together I think there's actually enough.
I feel like
content
actually
to be
HBO Max
compelling.
is kind of worth it. HBO Max has a lot of really good movies.
They have everything basically. Either like with HBO Max, like you can either rent anything that you want or they have it. Like HBO Max is my go-to for everything that I go look for.
Okay.
Because Netflix, like I've been noticing with Netflix, like Netflix has been like they'll have a movie up for like a week, and then as soon as I want to go watch that movie, they take it down. It's like they knew.
There's oftentimes where movies are only on there for like a month at a time. Stuff usually
it's ridiculous. That's all I gotta say.
Stuff usually comes off Netflix at the end of a month, and new stuff comes on.
Yeah, there's been probably like 3 or 4 movies that I've like added to my list, and then like a week later, I'm like, all right, time to watch that movie, and then it's gone, and I'm like, well, 1, 2, 3 movies, you're my best friend.
Big Bang Theory is on HBO Max, so
there we go.
Really? Is that did they end the season
by itself?
Did they finish?
A couple years ago, I thought.
Did they? I remember seeing it, but I was like, did they really end it?
I was young.
Because like all the actors were tired of it.
I couldn't imagine 15 seasons of doing it.
The world was tired of the Big Bang Theory.
I mean, honestly, props to them for doing 15 consecutive series. Seasons.
It's
Props
12
to them for
seasons.
surviving 15.
Yeah, I know.
Seasons.
That's pretty tough. The only other TV show to like pass 15 was Homer Simpson's and The Simpsons, and I can't think of the other TV show, but The Simpsons
South
is a
Park.
cartoon. South Park, thank you. Both another cartoon.
Love South Park.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Guess we're moving on once again.
We're moving on. We're going to discuss Frank Sinatra's 9th studio album, In the Wee Small Hours.
In the wee.
It was released in 1955, I believe.
Yes, that is correct.
Well, what did everyone think of this album?
Oh my god, I adored it. It's like I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are all looking at me weird.
Oh, Mitchell's done.
I don't like.
Oh no! Wait a minute, Mitchell.
What?
Uh
Oh,
oh my boy.
he's a robot again.
War as hell.
You guys hear me?
You're robot.
Little.
You're being.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just going to my internet reconnect.
Yeah.
all right.
For sure. Take your time.
We're
Alright.
very sorry about this, but had to do it.
Damn, we had to do it to him. We had to fucking axe him. It was me all along.
Nope.
Just following orders, Cap. I'm sorry. I didn't want it to be like this.
Hmm?
Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
Sort of.
A little better.
sort of.
I don't know what's going on. My internet is not bad. I promise you.
It
might just- It might just be because
Take your
you're
word for it.
you're on the West Coast and we're on the East
Yeah,
Coast.
I'm on the coast. Yeah. What's
Hey.
All right. So what did everyone think about In the Wee Small Hours?
Liked it. I thought it was really good. It made me very happy.
I
Well,
liked
not
it.
really. It's very depressing, but
No,
No,
yeah, yeah. I really liked it. I mean, I did a lot of research on the background of it, so like I know the history of it, which makes me appreciate it even more.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Care to
are you
share?
saying? What are you saying there, Brandon? Oh, you want me to share? Yeah. All right. So it was basically one of the first conception albums. It was one of the first like actual albums to be ever released because most of the time at that time it was singles being released, and Frank Sinatra was the king of that.
Yeah.
And it was also one of the first records to show like a different kind of cover, because most covers was like colored backgrounds that like really aren't like just kind of random shapes, and then like big bold letters that are funny looking. And he made it like dark and blue and like actually like made it kind of look like a film noir kind of thing. And it also, he wanted it on a 10 inch?
No,
It was like he wanted it. Yeah, he wanted it on a 10-inch. Oh, no, he did not want it on a 10-inch. He wanted it on a 12-inch, which is what Classical was sold on. But then Capitol Records, which is actually right down the road from me, released it on 10-inch. I can literally look at Capitol Records if I popped out my window.
that's so cool.
They released it in a 10-inch, and then they were like, "Whoa, this sold really well. Let's do a 12-inch." And then he got his wish.
Yep.
Mm.
And he also supposedly, some reports say that he cried after When Your Lover Is Gone.
Ah.
And most of the songs on the album aren't actually his. He wrote the last one, which was
Just love him, man.
I can't find it. Yeah, it was the last song on the album. He wrote that, and it was the only one he wrote. And then all the other songs, except the first one, I believe, were original songs from other people, like I Get Along Without You Very Well was sung by Red Norvo, which was actually very upbeat, and it was more of like, I'm getting along well without you, screw you. And then Frank Sinatra was like, yeah, I'm getting along well without you, but man, it sucks.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a little bit of the history.
That's
Wow.
super cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mitchell just blew all of us out of the water. So, fuck. So I'm gonna speak from the heart for a moment and say, wow, I really liked this a lot. It just the overall. Where do I begin with this? I think my first kind of visceral reaction to this was it was a very transporting album for me. I mean, Frank Sinatra always is, in my personal opinion. It brings you back to a very specific time and place and era. But even more so than just listening to Frank Sinatra on its own, just like hitting up singles here and there. This was really kind of an overarching experience. It was very cohesive for me. Everything down to the album cover and the font that they used for the album cover, down to like all these recurring themes of like the color blue or indigo, more specifically, as well as like this very dream, like wonder and dream focused kind of motifs that kept showing up were super duper cool. Just really kind of brought me into it. It was a very magical experience for me, albeit it was so like enjoyable that I couldn't find myself feeling sad, even though it is a very sad album, objectively, subjectively.
I mean, lots of these songs deal with loneliness or like lost love and stuff like that.
Yo, is this the first sad boy album?
Okay, I would also like to say Frank Sinatra was friend zoned. Like, if Frank Sinatra gets friend zoned, we all can get friend zoned. Well, come on.
You're right.
What's the one song? Like, what? Oh, shoot.
Can't We Be Friends?
Can we be friends?
Yeah, can we be friends? Like, if Frank Sinatra gets friend zoned, we're all doomed. Like, come on. Frank Sinatra's like the man of the day.
He's got a fedora.
Friend zone.
I'd marry the shit out of Frank Sinatra.
He's got a fedora, a glass of scotch on the rocks in his hand. He's got a suit. He's got that charm. God damn, he got friend zoned. How? Sorry, I wanted to say that. Like I kind of just surprised. Like, Frank Sinatra got friend zoned. I love you like a brother. No,
Mitchell, you're going robot-y as this happens, so you're like super high pitched. That's really funny. All right,
I thought that was actually funny for a second.
No, you are.
No, don't get me wrong.
You just have the internet.
I guess the robot just adds texture. Yeah.
Texture.
Put a little gas to the fire. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. That was one song that really stood out to me. I've already heard In the Wee Small Hours in the Morning like a couple of years ago, so that song I already knew. I mean, I re-listened to it and it kind of did hit different and heard it in a couple of years. But the one song that really stood out to me, which I think it was just because it was a little more upbeat, and that's what I like about Frank, is because I feel like he was got this bigger, larger than life voice. Mm-hmm. And it was I think it was a perfect mix of his like more than life personality and like the dreamlike state and sorrow of the album, which was the Dancing on the Ceiling. I loved that song. Just like it was a little more upbeat because every song, like I listened to the song the album in order in one sitting, and it was just like the songs did kind of blend a little together, and which wasn't bad. I mean, it was like it's the overall feel, and obviously the titles is like either a story or something like that. I thought that was interesting. But the Dancing on the Ceiling I really liked because it was like the most dreamlike state of like, I think what he was saying in that song, or what I got out of it was, I have love and I now know what that feels like, and not everyone can say that, and I'm still gonna dream about you because I'm in love with you. And it's like, Frank, buddy, who hurt you? Ava Gardner? Oh, poor guy.
Quite a few women, actually. Not just
it was quite a few. Ava Gardner was the one he dated right before the album was created, and there was like a pregnancy scandal, and it was all on the news, so he was just going through a rough time. Poor old guy and his little alcoholism.
Wait, wasn't Frank Sinatra also involved with the mob?
Yeah, he was.
Isn't
Frank Sinatra's so sick.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. but like the opening, the thing in Godfather where they cut off the guy's horse head, that's based on Frank Sinatra, right?
I don't think it's the horse. I think it's the singer. It's the singer in the movie.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like,
singer.
"Oh, Mr. Melly, can I sing? They didn't give me my song." And he's like, "Yo, shut up. You're gonna get your song."
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Isn't the horse, because the horse head or whatever is part of that, right?
Was it? Oh, I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was wrong. I'm
because
sorry.
he like wants a role in the movie.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's made for him.
Oh, that's right. Also, fun fact: he went to parties with Bugsy Siegel back in the 30s before he was famous.
Oh,
Bugsy
cool.
Siegel?
Yeah, Bugsy Siegel. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Who is he? I'm not familiar.
Oh,
Who are they?
Siegel is they call him Bugs. His name is Benjamin Siegel, but they call him Bugs because it was like a term back then to go crazy like a bug. But he had a really short temper. He came over to California and he did a gambling racket, and he was the reason why he's the main reason why Las Vegas exists to a certain degree, because he spent $6 million in that, which in that time was like $60 million, $70 million in today's money in mom's pocket, and then it didn't do well, and that's why he got whacked. He was pretty popular, but he also got kind of famous to the women who slept with me. He had a friend who was an actor, but that's how Frank knew him. He used to go to parties with him. Yeah,
That's so cool. Wildin'.
So we have Frank
Very true.
Sinatra to thank for Las Vegas in direction.
Sure, if that's what you want to get out of that. Yeah.
Thank you, Frankie boy, for
I have a
Las Vegas.
quick confession.
Yeah.
Every time I see a song titled "Dancing on the Ceiling," I can't stop thinking about "Slow Dancing in the Dark," and it makes me really upset.
I mean, it's a fine Joji song.
Do we have time for a short anecdote about "Slow Dancing in the Dark"?
Hey, let's go.
My brother Colin told me this one. He had never listened to the album before, the Joji album, whatever one it was. "Slow Dancing in the Dark," I think.
Yeah.
And so it was just 3 a.m. and he was working on something, and so he threw it on while he was working. And he, like 5 minutes later, he got a text from one of his like super close friends, just like, "Hey, is everything alright?" He's like, "Yeah, what's up?" She's like, "Oh, well, you started listening to Slow Dancing in the Dark at 3 a.m., so I just figured things weren't going great." I think about that a lot.
I don't know. It's not. It's like, I don't know. It's not that depressing of an album.
How did they know he was listening to Slow Dancing in the Dark? Was it like a Spotify thing?
Yeah,
like
they're friends on
Spotify.
Yeah.
What kind of friend is up at 3 a.m. going, "What's Colin listening to?"
Arts.
That's a good friend. That's what I gotta say. It's a good.
Absolutely. Wonderful person.
Wow. Brandon, what do you think about this album?
So
Yeah, give us your thoughts, Brandon.
yeah.
Give us a good old pot of your thoughts.
I definitely like these songs. I will say they're very of the time though, and I find that to be one of the major drawbacks for me from the album, because
Interesting.
it's at the end of the day I find it kind of simplistic. There are quite a few songs here that I love. What I like about Frank Sinatra is usually he has these more jazzy, big bandish backing instrumentals, like on the songs that I love, like "Come Fly With Me" or like "Blue Moon" and stuff like that. But that's definitely not really here because it doesn't really fit with this album. However, there are some songs here where his singing is just on point. For example, "When Your Lover Has Gone," he like digs deep into his vocal range in that song. I mean, like he has a lot of power behind his voice, and he is obviously, I think he's a great singer, you know, and he definitely shows that points on this album. And there are times where his performance is great, just fantastic. "This Love of Mine," the closer, definitely being like a highlight. However, I just don't really find myself being terribly engaged with a lot of these songs, but it's still good. There's definitely some highlights here. I don't know. It's just not. Maybe if I had listened to it in the wee small hours in the morning, I might have enjoyed it more. I was just not in the right mood. Maybe, who knows?
Well, see, like the things with like songs and albums is like you definitely have to be in the mood to really like immerse yourself into it, and I mean, the title is literally "The Wee Small Hours in the Morning," and I feel like this album is. I mean, it was one of the first albums that actually was the torture and the burns of like a relationship that's gone wrong.
Yeah.
And the aftermath, but like I do agree with you because like I not gonna lie, I listened to half the song and I skipped through a couple, like maybe 3.
Yeah.
There's 16 songs and they do all sound kind of similar.
No, yeah.
And a lot of them, and there's like, because I was looking at the lyrics, I was also reading the lyrics while he sang, and like 3 or 4 of them only have like 2 verses and then a bridge, and that's it. And it's like a 3-minute long song.
Yeah. It can be definitely a bit sparse at times, but I don't know. I think like if I had just broken up with someone, I think this is a perfect album to go to if you really want to just like cry it out.
Interesting.
In the wee small hours of the morning.
Okay, this will be interesting then, because I think I probably have the most negative take on the album. I don't like dislike the album. I just kind of felt like it was fine. I do think there are some tracks that I enjoy quite a bit. But I think for me, this album is kind of way too mood dependent for me, or dependent on what I'm doing at the time. Which is weird. I don't usually get that with albums, but like for me, I was like working outside my house, and I had this on, and I just like I couldn't. I found it really boring in that time. But then I was like cooking tonight while I was listening to it, and I thought it was like actually really nice for cooking too. And I think part of that is why I'm kind of indifferent on it to a large extent. I think it's, for me, just a lot of the songs are just too slow. They don't really have enough going on for me, and I think there's some elements of these tracks that if they were emphasized a bit more would have really brought a lot more life to it for me personally. Like, I think specifically the drums and the bass on the tracks, if they were highlighted more, I think they would have added a lot to it. I still think it's interesting, and I think there's a lot to get out of it. I mean, it's, as you said, it's like one of the first albums that has a very consistent theme to it. All the songs have basically the same subject matter. And I think it leads, I think definitely if you're in the right mood for it, it's a very engaging album. But also for me personally, I guess there's a lot of albums that are about this kind of subject matter that get me into the mood like instantly. I guess something sort of like this recently is that we actually covered was I wasn't actually going to say Death Consciousness. I mean, Death Consciousness is something.
Death Consciousness, right there.
If I wanted to be depressed, I'd listen to Death Consciousness. But what is it? Teen Dream by Beach House, which has a very dream-like sound. It's a dream pop album. Whereas I guess that album personally gets me in that headspace when I'm listening to it, I guess. Whereas on this album, I guess there's a lot of times where I feel like the songs are just too slow and for me not engaging enough. I think there's some really impressive stuff. Frank's vocals are really great on a lot of the tracks. On pretty much all the tracks, I think his vocal performance is the best part of them. And that is probably the thing that keeps me engaged the most. I just feel like elements around it could have used more, I guess. Firstly, I guess more variety. I think that comes later in the album. Once you get to stuff like which track is it? There's Dancing on the Ceiling, which is probably my favorite track, which I really enjoy. But stuff like It Never Entered My Mind, and Ill Wind too. I really like those tracks, and I think that's partially because they have the most variety to them musically. So like whereas I guess a lot of the stuff on the first half of the album is more kind of just the same over and over again. And if you're in the mood for that, I think this album can hit really hard. But for me personally, it just wasn't that engaging. I definitely think this is absolutely something everyone should check out. I think it's a really interesting album. And definitely something that I think a lot of people would really enjoy. So, yeah.
All right. Any closing?
Any other? Well, does anyone else? Do people want to?
I would like to continue this discussion briefly. I'm going to share a statement about this album, and I'm curious how much you would agree or disagree with it. And this is obviously open to y'all. And our viewers at home. Feel free to shout at your phone, and we will answer you. Anyways, so a good album that's intended to be emotional or elicit a specific emotion will serve you, so to speak. So, like, I can't think of a good sad boy album off the top of my head, but a good sad boy album, when you start listening to A Crow Looked at Me,
Oh God,
it's going to make you feel that way. You're going to be sad.
Yeah.
Whereas this album, you have to approach it when you are feeling this way. Is that a fair statement?
That's how I would describe my experience with it. There's a problem. I mean, I think other people probably feel differently, but for me, it's definitely like a lot of my favorite albums. When I like put them on, like instantly, it can get me into the vibe that it's going for. Basically, like there are albums that I put on and instantly I'm like fucking ecstatic.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I mean, I definitely feel like. Oh, sorry, Joe. You continue.
No, you go. It was on.
Oh, all I was gonna say was like, I feel like this album, like, it's too much of the same sound, so I kind of got bored. Yeah. And like Brendan said, it's the product of its time, which I do agree with it. But I will say, like, while I was listening to some of the songs, and I was also reading the lyrics while hearing it, it definitely brought out a piece of me that I hadn't felt in a long time after, like, because like it was kind of like, wow, I forgot what that felt like. Put that away, Mitchell. That doesn't feel nice. Like
in the box with you.
it was interesting because there were definitely some lines that hit harder than a lot more than other songs entirely. And I thought that was interesting because it brought stuff back that I hadn't felt in a while, and I was like, go you, Frank. But I did get bored with some of the songs. Some of the songs were just there merely because they were songs. I felt like.
Frank Sinatra tends to be. This is definitely an album that's really nice to just have playing while you're doing something else, especially if
the background noise.
I don't know, like maybe like the wee small hours of the morning, perhaps.
Maybe that might be the time.
Smoking a cigarette, walking outside in the rain.
Yeah, no, right? Like, especially if I fuck around, like, that's kind of, like, a mood. Like, I would absolutely see myself, like, there's not a lot of music I would like to listen to at 5 in the morning, let me tell you. I've learned that. But this is on that list. This is on that list. No doubt.
Don't forget Minecraft music.
Yo.
That's actually, like, kind of a banger. C418.
Minecraft music just goes with anything.
Literally.
It's so relaxing, man. It's just like... I don't know, Minecraft music you put on and instantly I'm like in 8th grade playing Minecraft again.
Have you seen those videos where it's like Minecraft, you're playing Minecraft but you like fell asleep and it's like midnight on a hot summer night.
Yeah, I've seen those.
It's like Minecraft music, but there's like owls and like cars and shit and like cricket noises and sound effects, and it's just like I love those videos so much. They're so funny. Oh my god. My brother sent me a video, same vein, the other day. What was the title? Mac DeMarco's Chamber of Reflection playing on the other side of the bathroom wall at 3 a.m. That was my favorite.
There was one where it was Fly Me to the Moon is in another room and it's raining. And it's just like an hour long of Fly Me to the Moon, and it's raining, and it's in another room.
I love that so
Like
much.
it was cool to listen to for like 20 minutes, and I was like, okay.
20 minutes is a lot of fucking minutes, bro.
Man,
It's
like
such a good
relaxing.
song, though.
Yeah,
It's such a good
like,
song, and the rain really helped.
It
If
I mean,
you're
does.
like, I don't know, if you're
I mean,
in
you
the
just
mood-
can't go wrong.
Yeah, if you're in the mood for one of those videos, it's like really nice.
You ain't wrong.
It's very immersive, you know.
Oh yeah,
Brings you back to the good old days
absolutely.
of flying to the fucking moon.
Back when I was an astronaut.
Back, Rocket Man.
All right. I guess, does anyone have any closing thoughts? Do we want to all share our closing thoughts and a rating, or you don't have to give a rating if you don't feel like it?
We're
You
gonna
do whatever.
give
I rate
ratings
it
for pressuring
fish.
you into it though.
Oh fuck! Mitchell gave it fish.
No, I'll give
Oh.
it a number rating. I'll give it a number rating.
All right, Joe, you want to start being the
All right.
negative Nancy of the group?
I was the negative Nancy. This is like a 5 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
I definitely see the appeal, and I think for a lot of people, it's definitely an album that I can recommend to a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people who will enjoy this, but for me, it didn't really hit me that much. And I think there are elements that I wish were emphasized more, or there was more done with them, that I think would have really brought a lot more to the album. But I do still think it's like absolutely worth checking out. So yeah, I'll recommend it. But for me, it was just okay.
As for me personally, I think there's a handful of good songs here that to take away, and some that are quite nice. I like the mood vibe that sets. However, at the end of the day, it's just not the complete listening experience that I would want from an album. It's still good though. There's still definitely some elements of this album that are some very good takeaways, but all around just not that great, you know? I'm at like a 6.5 to a 7 out of 10 on this album.
That's exactly what I was gonna rate it as, 6.5 to 7.
Okay.
Like it's good, but I wouldn't throw it on like every other day. Like it's not one of those albums where I can just throw it on and be like, yes, this album. Like
Yeah.
it's just not that. I mean, I'll definitely will listen to Dancing on the Ceiling or whatever that one's called. Once in a while, and listen to in the wee small hours in the morning, like every blue moon. But overall, I think it was a good experience to at least listen to it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Frank.
This album definitely captured my heart in a very strong way that I wasn't ready for, I will admit. But I also cannot see myself listening to it on a regular basis, and that's kind of definitely my gauge for how much I enjoy an album if it's something I listen to often. I am gonna go with a 6 because I refuse to rate anything a 7 in this life.
What?
Yeah.
What about 8?
I don't know. Well, that's the philosophy, right? Is you can't. 7 is like the most neutral number on the 10 scale. It's the most just
5.
alright.
5 is the most neutral. What?
No, 5 is an F.
What?
50% is a failure.
Okay.
Yeah, 50%
you
is an
can't
L.
compare the
70%
letter
is a C.
scale to the number
No,
scale.
hear me out.
A 5 is a C.
If you
Okay.
rate
I like
something
how
a 5,
fast we
are you
keep,
just okay on it? Are you ever like just alright? Anything that's a 5 is not just alright.
5,
No, it's
5 is
just alright.
completely
That's what a 5 is. 5 is just alright.
5
That's
is like
literally what I
right.
said.
7 is like
We're using Anthony Fantano
Okay.
statistical number rules here,
Here we go. Okay.
where every number has years of context to it.
But 5 is
let me
alright.
give you some context, okay? All right.
Oh boy,
10 is
context.
perfect.
Flying in it.
9 is amazing. 8
Ratings, I
is
would
great.
piss.
7 is good. 6 is decent. 5 is neutral. 4 is slightly negative. 3 is
So
bad.
for those of
2
you in
is
the audience
awful.
that are human
1 is
beings,
the worst.
I don't like to rate things 7 because it's a
Oh,
very
zeros.
neutral number.
No, I'm on Wesley's side. I honestly
No,
think
I
7.
like-
Because
No,
like,
five-
if you
five
get a
is the
5
neutral
out of
number.
hey, listen to me. If you get a 5 out of 10 on a test, you're fucked. You got an F.
You
F for
can't
fucked.
compare tests,
Okay,
though.
so
This is
that's what you're doing, though. You're saying 4 is slightly negative and like
That's
you
what
can
it
still do
is,
that with
though.
school. Okay, so why don't we just apply
Do you
that
think
to
this
school?
album
Like,
was just
come on.
decent, Wesley?
I think this album, I want to rate it higher, but I don't think that it is good enough for me to rate that much. So if we're going, okay, so let me translate it to you. I'm gonna rate it a 4.
Okay, no, okay.
That's a bad
Wait,
album.
Yeah, how it
that's
doesn't
kinda
work?
No, okay.
No.
Just give me a string instead of an integer rating, okay? Perfect,
string.
amazing, good, great, good, decent, neutral, slightly negative, bad, awful, worst.
Great.
Good?
Great.
Great.
You said great, right?
Yes, I said great.
Okay,
So that's an
great.
8 out of 10.
That's great. A great is an 8.
A great album.
I love
Great
That was a
having,
lot of
I
work
love
just to
having
get
my
great.
opinion about an album,
You
man.
can do 0.5s. You could say 7.5 out of 10.
I really like that. That was a good experience.
Did we just bully Wesley? Did we just bully Wesley?
Okay,
and,
he was the
giving
one
it a
who's like,
grade?
oh, you can't rate 7 because 7's a neutral number, even though 7 isn't a neutral number.
No, it is.
You fucking engineer.
Everyone who's
Jesus
listening, send in
Christ.
emails to these guys and DM
Thank
them
you,
and tell them
Mitchell.
that 7 is a neutral number.
I don't
In the
believe
real world, it is neutral.
No, it's not.
Who have you been talking
Okay,
to?
what
huh?
would you give it on a scale out of 5 then, Wesley?
On a scale out of
that's right.
5,
Yeah.
3.
But that's in the middle of the
I
scale.
don't have it. Okay, on a scale of 5, I
Okay,
would give it a
shut the fuck
2.5.
up, Brendan. He just said great, alright? He just said great. We're over this.
I didn't play your
We're over
fucking
this.
game.
Great album, according to Wesley.
I walk both lines. I'm a
I'll walk
technical
the line.
designer. I know both of you. I understand humans and robots.
Oh, so you understand me too then, because I'm a robot apparently.
No, you're a human. You are so fucking human. What was that? My natural habitat.mp4.
.mov. Yes.
That video was so good.
Thank you.
All right. Do we want to move on to talking about?
Let's talk about
No,
Vanilla
I'm
Sky.
pissed. Yeah, of course.
All right. We're gonna be reviewing. Next up, we got Vanilla Sky, directed by Cameron Crowe. Mitchell, do you want to introduce it?
Oh yeah, dude.
Zero.
All right, spoilers ahead. If you have not seen the movie, it's a great movie. You should watch it. It's kind of a
20 years ago. I think we're past spoilers.
That's
Okay,
true.
we're past spoilers. All right, so it's starring Tom Cruise, and I forget the lady's name, but she's been in. Cameron Diaz is also in it. She's like the third wheel.
Penelope Cruz,
Penelope Cruz, is that her name?
I believe.
The love interest. So you start out with this really rich guy. His father died and left him this company. He also has weird dreams, and then he gets entangled with this one girl, and he's been like sleeping with her for a while. And she's like, "I love you," and he's like, "That's cool. I don't love you, but let's just keep it like the way it is. Like it's always been. I love you like a sister." And then he he falls in love with this other girl that he met. And then he leaves her apartment after he basically falls in love with her in one night, and he leaves her apartment. Then Cameron Diaz shows up and is like, "Get in, bitch!" And then he gets in, and she's like, "I love you," and he's like, "Okay, I don't love you," and she's like, "Well, I'm gonna die and crash this car," and he's like, "Wait, no, I love you," and then she crashes the car, and then he gets all disfigured, and his face is all messed up, and then you go through this whole entire weird life of him falling in love with the girl he loves, and then it turns out she turns into Cameron Diaz, and Cameron Diaz was the love the entire time that he was in love, the girl he was in love with. He's like, wait, that can't be possible. And then it turns out that he actually went to a company that put him to sleep after the crash happened because he was so depressed. And he basically killed himself. They put him under like a Walt Disney thing. They put him under the ice and froze him. And then he was given a fantasy of being able to love her. And then it turns out she still loved him and stuff at the end, even when he died. So it's never give up kind of feeling. That's really basic, and it's not a great description. It's a lot better if you watch the movie than me telling you, because there's so many details. It's such a big movie to talk about in a minute.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I hope that came across as okay for people to understand.
As someone who didn't see the movie, it was great.
Thank you.
Would it be the top 5 greatest of all time movies?
I think it's definitely in my
Absolutely.
top 5 Trapt albums.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay. I thought.
Yeah, I think I can say that.
What did Brendan and Joe, if you saw it, what did you think of it? Because I was really interested what you guys thought of it.
I thought it was a very interesting concept. I didn't really enjoy the movie.
No. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Can I also say it stars Kurt Russell's also in it, and I don't know why. I like to imagine that Kurt Russell is the same Kurt Russell as the Kurt Russell in The Thing. I don't know why I like to do that. I just think it's really funny.
It's that Kurt Russell.
In my mind, in my heart, he's the same Kurt Russell. Man. Complete side tangent, but Kurt Russell in The Thing, in like his introducing scene, he like destroys a computer, just like out of nowhere, and it's just like what, like someone else wants to use the chess wizard, man. Come on. Anyway,
something. Okay. No, fuck me.
I think
something. Okay, computer.
I think this is a movie that has a really interesting concept that I think is very messy. I think.
Why do you think it was messy?
The way everything is, I think it's overly long, I guess. So firstly, there's a lot of setup until you get to the car crash. And then after it, I feel like basically after the car crash, instead of being put to sleep, it like happens like a full like 30 minutes after the car crash happens, I guess.
Yeah,
that's true, because that's when the accident happened. I
think it would have been better to get to the car crash faster and then have him be put to sleep instantly, with him just thinking it's like the normal world, and then him like having a mental breakdown as things start to happen. And I feel like I guess that aspect of the movie, I think my biggest problem is the way everything is structured, I guess.
Okay.
Also, it has Radiohead in it twice. There's 2 Radiohead songs. The opening song is Radiohead.
Definitely a 2000s movie.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It also like the way a lot of things are, it actually feels like a product of like the late 90s to me in a lot of ways.
Brendan didn't like it either.
No, okay. Okay. Here's my thing with this movie.
I can feel the wrath coming.
Yeah. I agree with Joe. I think its pacing is kind of garbage through a lot of it. It takes way too long to do some things, and other things go by like too fast. There's some things that I don't even know why they're there sometimes. Like the whole I don't even get like the point of some characters. Like the friend Brian.
Oh yeah, no, I can agree with that. Yeah,
he's there just to introduce the girl. Really.
Yeah, that's true. He was his best friend.
But like, not even though. Like,
no, he wasn't.
We don't really get anything to establish that. And when he shows up, he just has no regard for his friend. His friend's like, "Hey, please don't take this girl from me." And he's like, "Ha, yeah, sure."
All right, pal.
See, all right, I get that.
Maybe he likes Radiohead, though. Okay,
he does like Radiohead.
Maybe.
Right. I won't lie. I'm kind of a hypocrite because I love every movie I see, basically, for the first time. So, like, every movie I watch, I will always... I mean, unless it's, like, I don't know, the first Star Wars of the prequels. I don't know. Like, something really bad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I just watched Beauty and the Beast, the live action, and I fucking loved it. And then I'm probably going to watch it again, like, tomorrow and be like, this was awful. But
I
think that's a very sweet way to look at the world.
But, I liked Vanilla Sky because I thought it was, like... interesting. It was like trying to be Christopher Nolan, but didn't really.
Here's the thing: it reminds me a lot of Inception, even though it's like 10 years before Inception.
Yeah, maybe Christopher Nolan stole it from them. Boom,
maybe
mic drop.
Well, I mean,
Inception's
he
a
actually
much
stole
better
from
movie.
Paprika, but like,
Yeah.
All right, Joe, you and your
I'm
little
sorry.
facts.
I'm sorry. No,
These
it's like
facts.
it is.
Inception
Inception is
book report on wee hours.
Inception
No,
is
I know,
actually like
yeah.
a live action remake of Paprika, but
Yeah. He's actually very influenced by anime.
yeah, definitely. I think I was like actually, I guess I came out kind of disappointed. I think for me, a lot of the time when I see something that's very like psychological, like a character having like a mental breakdown, basically, I guess a lot of the entertainment for me is trying to figure out what's going on, and then like
yeah, and I will
at-
say the
after
movie took a while. Yeah.
and the movie also, and like after like watching it, like coming up with ideas of what actually was happening. And I think that one of my biggest problems is the explanation at the end that happens for like 5 or 10 minutes or something. Because on the one hand, it is kind of nice to have an explanation, but it's very kind of drawn
wish you
out.
were left wondering, like, what was the dream and what was real.
Well, no, they explained what was real and what was the dream.
Yeah, exactly. But I wish they didn't. Part of me wishes that they didn't.
Oh, you wish they didn't? Okay.
Yeah, because I think part of the movie, part of what keeps you engaged in the movie is wondering what's real and what's not. And like, I think the movie, like when the movie becomes Dream, it makes it obvious, in my opinion. Like that scene is just so much. It's a huge aesthetic shift. The scene where he wakes up on the pavement in the dream, and so like I kind of noticed that right away. But I think it didn't have to explain that. I guess. There's like at the end when they're explaining things, there's some pieces of dialogue that are like so corny, in my opinion. There's a time where
it was a
guy is
corny,
like, your observers are waiting, and he looks at the camera. I'm just like, oh, that made me vomit right there. I was just like,
okay. I think the reason I liked Vanilla Sky so much is because I feel like it definitely was like a more of a weirder movie, honestly, because like it didn't really play by the rules 100%. It kind of like with the length of it, it was like what? It was like 2.5 hours long, 2 and 20 minutes. Like it was a long movie.
Yeah.
It was a long movie, and I think it was like more of a build off the relationships and consolidate them, and then it was like the like, oh no, it's not actually her, she's not Kia's, and now it's real. And I think for me personally, it was more of like getting away from all movies that are being put out today. Like I feel like there aren't a lot of movies being put out like that are more risky. It's more.
I definitely think there's a lot of good ideas.
Try. No, yeah, but like that's why I think I liked it so much. I mean, it's probably super messy. Like I'll probably watch it again, and it's gonna be super messy. But I think it's just like the way that they created the movie, and I also thought it was super cool. They shut down Times Square for a single day for that first opening shot.
That opening
like that was really cool.
The opening thing is really impressive. Yeah.
So I just thought it was like really cool because I did a lot of research behind the movie also before I watched it.
Mitchell, can I say something? You don't have to like come on here and like defend your opinions. You can just say you don't have to like feel like we're attacking you because we're not.
Fuck you. This is my opinion. I don't give a shit.
Mitchell, have you ever watched the movie Enemy?
Yeah, I believe I have.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering because that's sort of in line.
Oh yeah, with Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah,
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
I can go on hours about him. I actually wrote a paper about him.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal. He's just like so good in everything. I don't know how
he's never done anything the same. He's done similar roles, but never have done anything same.
Yeah. There's definitely, There's a lot of movies that are like I guess similar. I guess not in concept, but in the way that it plays with reality. Like The Lighthouse that came out last year. Which I love to death.
You loved. Oh, really? I thought that movie was fucking stupid, but I respect the making of it. I thought that movie was so stupid.
I love
like
it
the
so
thing
much.
is that I think the reason I like it is because it doesn't give you all the answers. Am I right?
Yeah, that's why I love it.
I knew it. See, the thing is that with me, that's what I didn't like. It left us too much in the open of being like, what went on.
That's
I feel like if it gave us a little background, it would have made sense.
I think personally, I'm with Joe. I think The Lighthouse actually strikes like a really good balance of leaving the viewer guessing. But,
yeah, Because like personally with The Lighthouse, there's so many like. The thing that I love about like a psychological movie is if it has a solid story. Like you can see what happens in The Lighthouse and follow it. It's not like weird or like disconnected.
What about the tentacles and the light and then the ending shot?
Because he's going, you don't know what's going on with that, but you know you're seeing it basically, if that makes sense. You know that something's happening, but you don't know what. And there's so many different ways you can go with trying to figure out what actually is going on. So like,
I will say, I do think going into the movie, you know something's gonna go.
Well, you know something's gonna. Yeah. You know something's gonna happen. There's like an dark, ominous tone throughout, but like the way you see the main character go fucking insane is like what I love about it.
See, I went to see it and I saw it in theaters and I was like, I loved the acting. I thought a lot of it was great. Like I loved the old time shots and it being black and white and like it being kind of like an older horror movie. Like it was like a little not over dramatic, but had that feeling of like don't like to me.
It's very like, suspenseful, yeah.
Yeah, suspenseful to a certain degree with the music, but I just remember. I think it was more of like it was probably right around the 1 hour and 40-minute mark where I was just like, all right, they've lost me. I think that's what it was. Just like it was too up in the air for me. It wasn't as grounded, which I think they probably intended for.
Yeah,
which is all respect to the director. He's a genius, anyways. Maybe I'm just too stupid to understand what he's trying to
no.
Like,
dude, there's so many theories about it,
and I think that's what he intended.
Yeah, definitely. To me, it's like it like leaves so much up to the imagination, but like it still feels like again you can interpret it in so many ways. So
I think I think he really like. I don't know. He really was just like, you know what? You figure it out.
I don't know. I feel like there are movies that do that, and like you can tell that it's lazy, though. And I don't feel like that happens with The Lighthouse. I don't know.
What do you mean by lazy?
Like there are movies that just leave things unexplained, like Bright,
cheesy?
for example.
Right? Is it? Whoa, that's completely different.
A straw.
Whoa. That's whoa. There's a completely. What do you mean? Do you mean as in Bright doesn't explain anything about
Bright
his world?
doesn't explain anything because I feel like it's just lazy writing.
Okay, I see. I think there's a difference.
I've never seen Bright, so I can't say anything.
Don't watch it. It's really bad.
Good.
I highly recommend not watching.
I won't watch a bad movie.
Bright is basically like, it's like, what if racism was with fantasy races in the real world? It's like basically, what if fantasy races were in present day, but they don't think through the concept enough. So there's constantly like, why?
And there's magic, and the magic is just
funky. Yeah. Okay.
There's also, oh man, I love how there's like 4 main races or something. There's elves, there's orcs, there's humans, and there's Mexicans.
Yep.
I'm not even joking.
No, that's
all right. I think it did something there.
But yeah, Bright basically just doesn't think through anything. So.
Anyways, back to our review of Vanilla Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could talk about this movie for hours. I thought it was really interesting. I mean, it's not 100% great. It's not gonna be the next freaking Titanic, but like,
I will say, I like the philosophical approach that the movie takes. I think it poses, some interesting philosophical questions, like, how do we know that we're even here? How do we know this is a dream? You have the choice of like living a real life that may not be perfect, or living a perfect dream life that you don't know is a dream. What would you choose? Stuff like that. Which is, it is interesting, and those are like they're interesting philosophical questions. How the movie, some of them, I feel like the
movie
movie approaches
cheesy.
in a good way.
It was definitely cheesy. The ending of the movie was definitely cheesy.
I hate the ending, honestly.
The opening of his eye.
Yeah, that's definitely
I was
I
hoping
know.
he actually died, but
Yeah.
he just died.
I
Like,
hoped he
on
died
ground.
in a car crash, honestly.
yo, that's kind of
That
like,
would have been cool. Wait, that would have been like a what's it called? What's that movie with Alec Baldwin and where they die and they become ghosts? What's that
9
movie?
Lives? That's not right.
No, it was made in the 80s.
Oh wait.
Renina Widener was in it. It's the house.
Winona Ryder?
Renona Wider, sorry.
Let me see.
Alec Baldwin. It's Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
of.
Beetlejuice. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just connected. It's just okay.
Wait, who's Alec Baldwin? Is Alec Baldwin the main guy in Beetlejuice?
Yeah, he's the dead guy.
Oh,
That's
okay.
him.
I
He's the dead
watched
guy.
that. I never realized that was Alec Baldwin.
So crazy.
Yeah, that was like a young Alec Baldwin.
I love Alec Baldwin.
That was his first like big break. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
I really like Alec Baldwin in that Thomas the Tank Engine movie I used to watch a lot as a kid, because let me tell you, after seeing Alec Baldwin in literally every other role he's done, watching him be a train conductor in a children's movie about trains is actually just like being high. It's amazing. And like I just accepted that as a child my whole life. And then I like went back a couple years ago and I was like, let's watch this again. I was like, holy shit, is that Alec Baldwin? And he just was. Go look it up. I forget what the fuck it's called. I can get you a name in a minute. But yeah, Alec Baldwin did a live action Thomas
Alec the
Tank
Tank Engine.
Alec the Tank. He was Thomas, bro. That'd be so sick.
That would be like nightmare fuel. Like, oh my god.
It's so wild. He's not actually
Alec
Thomas.
Baldwin,
I should
so it's
clarify.
okay.
But yeah, Vanilla Skies.
Oh yeah.
It was a good movie. I thought I gave the movie probably 7.5 to 8 out of the book because it's cool.
Okay.
I guess I'll go next. I'm at like a 6. I feel like this movie has some good ideas. It's just there are points where it's slow. There are points where the dialogue is bad. And I think there's a lot that could really be improved upon on this movie.
So if this movie was remade today, do you think it'd be better?
It depends on the director.
It would. I think people would not respond to it very well if it came out today.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. It depends. If it was made, if you got like Denis Villeneuve or like is someone who's very like a very like I guess smart sci-fi director, I think you could totally make something like this work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think remakes are very dependent on like the person who's making them. If they have a solid vision of what they want to accomplish with a remake. Because I mean, I don't know. There's really interesting remakes. Like there's a Suspiria remake in like 2018 or something. That's like
it's got Tom York.
Very
soundtrack.
Tom York did the soundtrack. But it was directed. I forget the guy's name. It's the same guy who did Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that remake is supposed to. It was very like divisive, but I know a lot of people really loved it just because like it's very different from the original in how it approaches it. Because like the original is very colorful and like psychedelic and weird. And like kind of the entire thing in the original, it's almost like a murder mystery. You're like, what's going on at the school? And then in the Suspiria remake, they're just like, there's witches. They like cast spells and shit. Here's the witches. And like it's a lot different. Like the color palette for the movie is very muted and stuff. It's very interesting. So yeah, I don't know. You can also go the way with you could go the same way as Gus Van Sant's Psycho remake, shot for shot remake.
Oh, isn't that cheating?
I mean, I guess kind of. It stars Vince Vaughn.
What?
Yeah, it
stars
stars Vince Vaughn.
cameos in my Psycho.
Dude, what?
It's really
Vince
interesting.
Vaughn?
Yeah, it's it's an interesting
What is he
movie.
crashing a frickin' funeral like Vince Vaughn?
It legitimately is an interesting like movie just to watch to understand why a shot-for-shot remake doesn't work. It's an interesting experiment. I don't know, but it's like watch the original Psycho first if you're gonna.
I love Vince Vaughn, but I don't think Vince Vaughn could pull that off. He's not. He doesn't have the facial structure to give off creepiness.
Well,
okay. So
you have a score, Joe, for
so Vanilla Sky for me. I didn't like this movie very much. It just I don't know. I just think it has a very interesting concept and needed like
Flush it out, I guess.
Yeah, I think it needed maybe some script rewrites to like go over the concept more and I think develop it a lot more. And I think there are just a lot of aspects to it where there's a lot of times where I find the writing is lacking, or like, I mean, there's some funny lines. I will admit. I forget who says it, but someone in the movie says, "I swallowed your cum." I think it's Cameron Diaz says it while they're in the car.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, when she's like, "I swallowed your cum. I love you."
No, she's like, "I swallowed your cum." That means something.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, by the way.
I think there's.
I mean, it means something. It means you swallowed their cum.
Whoa.
I think also for me, like there's just it needed to dive deeper into not just the concept, but certain aspects of it. Like there's a lot of points where I don't really feel like
Tom. So like if you wanted it to go deeper, like how would you want it to?
Firstly, I think the best way for me, or I think the best way to have approached it is basically the entire thing starts after the car crash. Like the dream sequence starts after the car crash, basically. It's like he is put into like sleep or something, just because he's going to die if they don't. Something like that. And then the rest of the movie would be like you'd still have like these relationships and everything, but it'd be everything kind of turning into a nightmare for him as he doesn't understand how to control anything. I think there's also somewhat some wasted potential. There's the point where the tech support guy shows up at the bar.
Oh yeah, that was a weird scene.
He's like, "Hey, you can like take control, man." And Tom Cruise yells for everyone to shut up, and everyone does and looks at him. And I think that could have been a point where they started exploring him realizing that he's lucid dreaming.
Because he doesn't ever do that again until the end.
Yeah. I just think this is a very interesting concept that I think needed a lot more development. Also, just within this current movie, I also think that Tom Cruise's like descent isn't that convincing to me. I think there's not enough time to spent towards that.
Because like even the time where so when he's at his like lowest is when he's talking to McCabe most of the time, or Kurt Russell. But even then, he doesn't come off as that, insane.
Well, I was thinking
he says he is, but like I don't know. I feel like he should be acting more crazy in those moments.
Well, I think there's what is it? There's the bar scene, which I actually think the bar scene is one of the better parts of the movie. For me. Him like basically kind of like going crazy because he can't take his face being deformed. Is interesting. I just think they could have gone a bit further with his descent into madness. I didn't really like this movie. This is like a 3 to a 4 out of 10 for me.
Ooh, ouch.
Sorry.
Wesley,
I think
what would you give this movie?
Yeah, Wesley. What do you? It has Radiohead in it twice, so
Keep that in
think
mind.
about that.
Yeah.
It's actually a 10 out of 10 because there's Radiohead in it twice.
I can't think of any other movies that have Radiohead in them twice. And honestly, well, so here are my kind of thoughts on this. You know, I know that it's been a little bit of a drought recently as far as releases from this artist, but I don't know. I just think this is Trapt's best album. No, I really do. I really do. I think this might be one of the top 5 albums of yeah, I think of all time. I'm gonna say that confidently.
Wow.
I mean, what other album can you think of that has 2 Radiohead songs on it?
Do I have the artist for you, Wesley?
It even starts. There's this album that even starts with the same song that this movie starts with. This little indie band called Radiohead.
Can you imagine? Like some artist that like hasn't been heard, like Vanilla Ice, just releases a new album, and there's 2 tracks on it that are just Radiohead songs for no fucking reason.
What if everyone just did that? Just put on 2 Radiohead
covers, not covers, just directly like recorded with OBS off of Spotify, like just 2 Radiohead songs on the album. And no one asks any fucking questions. They're just like, wow, these songs are great, but the rest of the album is kind of dog shit, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
You know, thank you for your input, Wesley.
New Logic album leaked on the Bop Stop? Is that what just happened?
What?
Is there gonna be?
It's
coming out.
It's gonna have 2 Radiohead songs
New
on
Logic
it.
album.
You heard it here first. I promise you that.
Wow.
Mhm.
All right.
So that's my opinion. In conclusion, Vanilla Sky is 2 out of 10.
Wow.
Because there's only 2 Radiohead songs. What is
Yeah.
this?
It's not 10 Radiohead songs.
He's right.
I don't know what to tell you.
What the heck, Wesley? What is this?
What would you rate it, Joe?
Like, well, because it has 2 Radiohead songs, it's actually a 20 out of 10.
Whoa.
You get 10 points for each Radiohead song you have in your
Wow,
movie
that's bold.
stuff. There's
Do you
so
think
many.
that the Lighthouse could have benefited from more Radiohead?
I think they should have had 5 in the White House.
Oh my god, that would wow.
It would make it superior of the movies.
Yes.
Joe, actually,
Actually-
a quick question to the group. What?
I'm sorry. Before you
Yeah,
say
go ahead,
something,
go ahead.
the Suspiria remake has a soundtrack by Tom York. So like, it's the greatest movie ever made.
That does make it the greatest movie of all time.
Wait, do we count movies that have scores by other band members? Because there's quite a few Johnny Greenwood scores.
That is true. Johnny Greenwood is awesome. It's very good.
Wow.
Anyways,
Okay,
Wesley.
What movie could most benefit from more Radiohead? Like, completely and genuinely.
Genuinely, I don't.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Avatar the
Yeah,
people.
Such a like brute force strategy to try and make that movie better. That's like,
I like
that's like
that.
maybe if we just put more good things in this bad movie, people will like it a little bit more. Maybe it'll be a little bit more tolerable.
Like actually, I don't know. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, maybe.
Interesting.
Like that's already an amazing
Yeah.
movie, but like
Oh, no,
I think
heard
Radiohead
Vanilla
would
Sky
fit it
is up
well.
there. Honestly, if the entirety of this movie had just been played to Kid A, like I probably would have liked this movie a lot more.
Just like depression.
rough.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you. We're about to wrap up here, it seems. So.
Wrap up. Well, we don't have any guests for next week, right?
No, it's just you and me. Joe.
Okay.
Unless we have a returning guest, I don't know.
I'll come back on.
Yeah?
I mean, if you want to come back on, I got.
Fuck, I gotta choose a way less weird album. Hold up.
I think I know I have a movie suggestion that's really out there.
You go.
But
first.
Okay, so my movie suggestion for next week is House, directed by Nobuhiko Obayashi. It's a 1977 like Japanese horror movie. Let's describe it. It's very weird and out there. I don't want to like spoil stuff. I've only seen a little bit. I've only seen like like one clip of it. I don't really want to spoil stuff about it because it's like it's a very wild movie.
You're choosing weird stuff, and I kind of want to choose weird stuff. You say it was from 1967?
No, 77.
77. Damn it.
That doesn't mean it's not gonna be like.
Okay, no, it's funny because the album I had in mind was from 1967, and I was like,
Oh.
What
was the album you're gonna recommend?
So the album I was thinking of is The Parable of Arable Land by the Red Crayola. But it's like super weird. And I don't know if I want to subject our guests to that.
That's pretty long too.
No, so it's actually only 40 minutes. That's like
it is
the remaster bonus track version, whatever.
Oh,
so yeah,
okay.
it's only the first. Though on Spotify, it's the first 12 tracks.
I can. There's so much extra text on all of these tracks.
Yeah, some of these tracks have very long subtitles, and also they have the remaster text and stuff like that on Spotify. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? Mitchell, what are your opinions on NSYNC?
Yeah. Yo, wait. Can we do Battle of the Boy Bands episode? This will be a really weird contrast to House, but
wait, can I stir the pot a little bit more and ask if Brockhampton counts as one of the boy bands?
No. Well, it's gonna be specifically. It's of the time period, so it'd be NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
that's valid. Oh man, that's a tough one.
You okay with that, Mitchell? You're not a fan? No, okay, never mind.
Fine with whatever. I'm fine. Hey, whatever. It's your show. Whatever you guys want to do.
You're our guest.
Submit.
We want to be someone. We don't want to be like. We don't want to like make you listen to like Bish Bosh, which is like fucking super weird experimental shit.
I'm an actor. I listen and do anything and everything. I listen and watch weird shit all the time. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for anything.
Do you just want to go for Bish Bosh? It's very
go for Bish Bosh, honestly. That'd be a bit too much.
Oh, you don't want to do Bish Bosh? Oh man, I'm actually kind of disappointed. I like kind of want to revisit Bish Bosh. Maybe I'll recommend Bish Bosh.
That's true.
So then, Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
What were we?
The Battle of the Boy Bands.
I don't know, Brendan. This is your choice. So if you're not feeling that,
it's a tough choice though. There's a lot of pressure. And I'm not. I don't work well under pressure.
Doesn't work well under pressure.
So you're actually, wait, Wesley, are you coming on next week?
Let me check my calendar, but I would like to say yes right now.
Okay,
I would like to
if
be
the
on
two
more
of you boys are
frequently.
coming on, I have the album that I actually want to.
It's OK Computer by Radiohead.
All time.
Finally gonna make me listen to Radiohead.
We could totally make Wesley listen to Radiohead and just make him depressed.
No, it's something like that. But wait, Wesley, are you coming?
Yes, I think I'm open that weekend.
All right,
that day.
My album I'm going to choose is Big Willie Style by Will Smith.
I actually can't make it. A schedule conflict just came out for right now.
Dude, I've already listened to the album. I'm all ready.
Yo.
Hell yeah!
No, you can't, like Big Willie style. No,
Dude, I used to listen.
Yo,
Alright.
don't you
I was-
diss getting jiggy with
Yeah.
it, Wesley? What the fuck?
Getting
That
jiggy with
song's
it.
fire.
And Miami, come on.
Remember in 1999 when Will Smith and his infinite fucking wisdom decided to title an album Millennium? What a modern philosopher.
Hey, shout out to Will though. He's going through a lot right now. Hey, give him some-
I have so many mixed emotions about. No, that's not true. This is me just trying to gently say I think Will Smith is a fuck ass.
Wow.
Will Smith's so
Jeez,
dumb.
all right, shots fired. Wait, why
Snowball's
does
whole
I
family is
don't
just
know.
like falling apart because I think he keeps doing dumb things.
How can you criticize funny man Will Smith, Wesley?
He's
Come
so
on.
funny.
Man, Will Smith. I don't have to criticize him. You just called him a funny man. That's insult enough.
Whoa,
Oh,
that is a compliment, man.
God.
I know. I have very mixed feelings about Will Smith because he kind of like this movie. Like he's like really good in like Men in Black and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But he got paid
kinda just-
$100 million in the third movie.
What, seriously?
Yeah, I just read that today. He got made $100. I don't know if it's 100% true, but he made $100 million on the third movie.
He probably had like a percentage deal or something. Like,
For sure.
well, holy fuck.
No, I think he just got a down payment of $100 million.
That's
Whoa.
fucking insane if that's
I mean,
true.
through
nutty.
taxes. I mean, after taxes, he probably made like 67 million, maybe 65.
Yeah, that's
Still,
damn.
that's
That's
a lot of
fucking
age.
ton.
That's a lot of money.
Um,
Hey,
Well-
but he's getting jiggy with it.
yeah,
Sure,
it fucking
sure.
is. Will Smith does kind of just tend to play Will Smith in movies,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
like hard to like get into a movie with Will Smith in it without just seeing, oh, it's just Will Smith.
It's your boy.
He's just going.
Okay, in Will Smith's defense, I will say once you find the like your niche of like what you're good at, Hollywood tends to force you away or pushes you. I shouldn't say force, like nudge you in the way of like, hey, you should do this.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Once you get casted as one thing, you kind of just get casted as that.
You
over and
kind of
over.
get
I was thinking that
typecast.
new show with Jim Carrey. I can't remember the name of it because I just keep watching it in passing when my parents are watching it. But incredible and super unexpected coming from Jim Carrey.
Are you kidding me? He was
Highly
great as
recommend.
Dr.
Right?
Eggman in the Sonic movie.
Not that one.
I haven't seen that.
Fucker.
Man, Jim Carrey.
Where are
is,
TV shows?
there's-
He's in. Mitchell, you would love it.
There's legitimately so many comedic actors who like just do like Adam Sandler just does like shitty comedies.
Oh,
but then he
hey,
just,
no,
like,
you do not disrespect Adam Sandler
No.
while I'm on this podcast.
Whoa, no,
You
no,
do
no, no.
not disrespect him.
Whoa. He's like a legitimately an amazing
Partner.
actor. He's amazing.
Okay,
in
okay.
and he's
I was
great
gonna
in
say,
like Punch Drunk Love. He
he's
just
a
only does like
genius.
grown-ups and
Okay,
shit.
can I tell you why he's a genius? Okay, so this man does one movie. He makes his own production company. He gets all his friends around, and his movies are constantly playing on TV. And he gets the back ends. He gets the producer credits. He get the percentage. He also gets paid as being an actor, and he gets his movies play all the time. He's making bank. And he has his own, and no one can say no to him because he has his own production company. This man, do you want to know what his net worth is? It's like $200 million. Like he is
crap.
rolling in money.
It's like I
Like
respect.
I want to
I-
be Adam Sandler. He also is from New Hampshire. So that's why I like him.
Bro.
I just like wish
Man.
he did like more serious
Good
roles
thing.
because he's really good in them.
Yes.
He just doesn't do them. It's kind of the same thing with
No,
Jim
no, no.
Carrey.
I stand corrected. It's $420 million.
Oh, okay.
420.
It's a net worth, like literally.
Yeah. The only reason Adam Sandler is making more money is because he thinks the number 420 million is hilarious. He could be the richest man if he wanted to.
But I'm sorry, I went on a rant there. I do think Adam Sandler is slightly a genius, and people just shit on him being only done bad movies. He gets to make movies with his friends. Like, what more can you ask?
That's
Again,
true.
I just wish he did like more serious movies or like more stuff because like he's.
I mean,
so
he did the
fucking good in,
what's that one movie he did with Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, Punch Drunk Love. I know that
Yeah.
wasn't like great, but it was not
that
bad.
movie was really good. Like it's just, I mean, it's a very like unique movie.
Mhm.
Punch Drunk Love is like a movie that will hit like a certain type of person really hard.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever-
but yeah.
what's that one movie he did on Netflix? Oh shoot, what's it called? It's with Ben Stiller and
It's like probably a lot of his movies.
No. He did a movie like 2017. I forget what it was. It's like a drama. It's not drama. It's like it's like a hokey drama.
Stories.
Yes. That wasn't half bad.
It's directed by the guy who did Marriage Story, right?
Yeah, he. I thought that wasn't half bad. I watched that like a year ago, and I thought that was actually quite good.
Oh, cool.
But then again, I like every movie I first watch, so we'll see.
Wow.
Adam Sandler rant.
Yeah.
Sorry,
listeners. But also Jim Carrey. He's so good in like Eternal Sunshine, but he just does like a bunch of comedies, and it's like he's funny, but like you could be doing so much more, dude.
But like the thing is that maybe he just likes doing comedy, because I feel like if you know Jim Carrey, like he's had a pretty troubled past, so I think he just likes comedy more because he doesn't like indulging in the dark sides because he's already got to deal with it every day.
Wow. All right. Does that round out our podcast, I guess?
I think it does.
Wow. All right. So next week, the movie is going to be House. I'm really excited for it. It's on the Criterion Channel if you have that. And then what is it? We're listening to Big Willie Style by Will Smith. This is a very
Jiggy with it.
No, they're thematically like the exact same, Joe.
They're gonna be very interesting.